What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Leon from Leon Talks TV, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're delving into a topic that a lot of you might be curious about: the truth behind Tinder users and their relationship status. Are people really using Tinder to find love, or are many of them already taken? Let's break it down. Chapter 1: the stats you need to know. First off, let's talk numbers. You might have heard that over 30% of Tinder users are actually married. This comes from a survey done back in 2015 by Global Web Index. They found that 30% of users were married and an additional 12% were already in relationships. That means almost half of the people on Tinder aren't even single. But here's the twist: Tinder itself disputes these findings. They say the survey didn't really reflect their user accurately and that their own data shows a different story. Chapter 2: recent findings. Fast forward to 2023, and a new report from the New York Post suggests that around 65% of Tinder users say they either married or in a relationship. That's a pretty significant jump, right? It makes you wonder how many people are really on the app just looking for something on the side. Chapter 3: different groups, different stats. Now, not all studies agree on the same numbers. A study done for young adults under 40 showed that about 11% of married young adults use dating apps like Tinder. That's lower than what we saw in the older surveys, but it still shows that it's happening. Plus, reports suggest that women on Tinder are often more likely to be in relationships or married compared to men. Chapter 4: my personal experience. Now, let me share my own experience with Tinder. I was on the app for about a week and I noticed something interesting. I came across two women I knew who were both married. One I didn't know very well, but I recognized them from my Instagram. The other was married to someone I knew who lived nearby. When I saw her on Tinder, I thought maybe they had broken up. Or to be honest, I was actually confused because I was like, is that the same girl that I see this guy always posting on his Facebook? So I had to double check. And to my surprise, they were still together and it was actually the same girl. Now, it's crazy to see her profile on the app, especially since they were married. Then there were two other women whose profile I saw. They were also married but seemed to be looking for something on the side. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, thinking maybe, just maybe, she had just forgotten to delete her profile or had them before they met their partners. But obviously, that wasn't the case because, lo and behold, I bumped into this girl with her current boyfriend at the time, which was mind-boggling to me as to how her profile was still there. And I was led to believe that her profile was still active and in use, and she was out there looking for something on the side. You know, what's funny is that what stood out to me was how some of them dressed provocatively on the app. One woman I noticed was married to an older guy. Maybe he looked like he was in his 60s, and she looked to be in her late 30s or maybe early 40s. And I wondered if she was on the app to find someone closer to her age for, maybe to get her back blown out, so to speak, right? But nonetheless, that was just a little short summary of my experiences on dating apps I've happened to come across women who are married or in relationships. Now, based on my experience, I think these studies and surveys, I think is very true. Just judging off my own experience, and this was just a week being on Tinder. And yeah, I think it's true that there are a lot of women, and you can say some men, but I don't date men, so I only date women, so I can only speak on the woman aspect of things. So yeah, so I totally agree on Tinder. People on Tinder, getting on Tinder, and who are secretly married or in relationships. Chapter 5: what does this mean? What does all this mean for us? It means that while Tinder can be a place to meet new people, it's also a space where many users might not be looking for a serious relationship. If you're on the app, it's a good idea to keep this in mind, but depends on what you're looking for. So it really comes down to you. So if you're looking for something more serious, you might be talking to someone who's already taken. So always approach the situation with caution. And it could also be another major factor for a lot of men that don't have success on dating apps, as well as men being on dating apps can be oversaturated. But another thing is that some women are not looking for something serious and they're just looking for a short time fling. And it's probably a number of reasons why this could also be one major contribution to why men get ghosted a lot on these dating apps. So, conclusion. In summary, while we see stats saying that a large portion of Tinder users are married or in relationships, Tinder challenges the accuracy of these numbers. However, in my opinion, I think there is a lot of truth to these numbers. But still, it's clear from multiple sources that a significant number of users aren't single and many are actively using the app despite being in relationships. Let's chat in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more info. Until next time, salute.